Welcome to Beyond the Closing Table with Setco Services. In this podcast, we delve into the world of real estate and explore what happens beyond the closing table. Join us for insightful discussions and expert interviews that will change the way you see real estate transactions. Welcome to Beyond the Closing Table. I'm George Brandon Jr., sponsored by Setco Services. Today I have Mr. Jim Hood, local amazing entrepreneur, done many things in the, as we just said, 20 plus years that we have known each other. Thank you, Mr. Hood, for being here. Appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you for inviting me, buddy. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. So first of all, I always like to get background on people. As you know, it's called Beyond the Closing Table. So it's just, local people, not just local, but what they do outside of real estate. Some we talk about real estate, some we don't. It just depends. But I like to see how people get to where they're going. So, Jim, where'd you grow up?
Grew up in Bay County.
Oh, you got a true local.
The big city.
These are rare. Although I feel like there's more, I talk to more local Bay County people that actually grew up there. Just in my personal local experience, I think Walton is way more transient. But all right, Bay County's a big spot.
Thought I was making a big move when I moved over here. Big move.
You moved on up to the west side.
Absolutely. Other side of the tracks.
That's right. What, where in Bay County?
I was in Springfield, Cedar Grove, actually.
So that's kind of especially with growing up, that was country, right?
That was, big time.
I mean,
everything's
it's
200
grown up
road.
a little bit
Yep.
now, but still compared to like Panama City or Lynn Haven, that's kind of.
Before Michael, nothing had really changed.
Yeah.
It had to change after Michael, but.
Yeah. Well, I've talked multiple times about Michael and being you never look at a hurricane being a positive thing when it's happening or thereafter, but it did kind of quickly redevelop that whole section of 23rd, 79.
I like the way you worded that, redevelop.
Yeah, well,
I like
it's
that.
abrupt and
cleansing.
quick. Yeah, and just kind of a clean sweep. In fact, the Lynn Haven, I remember going to the bridge and it looked like someone took a hedge trimmer to the entire area.
About 10 foot up.
Yeah.
Everything's gone.
Like, boom, gone. So anyway,
Unbelievable.
You paint a picture of where Jim grew up, but a little further outside.
Down the street from Rutherford High School, actually.
Okay. All right. Is that
I actually walked to high school. That's how close we were.
Did you walk in the snow barefooted? Like
uphill both ways.
Tell me? Okay.
Backwards.
Perfect. Exactly. So where'd you go to middle school? Or excuse me, let's start elementary school.
Cedar Grove Elementary.
Okay. All right. Were you a good kid?
I was a good kid.
How was your upbringing? My
upbringing was I can't say a little different because the more I talk to people, the more I realize that, man, maybe my upbringing was a little normal.
Yeah.
Mom and dad got divorced when I was 2.
Okay.
Lived next door to my grandparents growing up.
Awesome.
Which was awesome. My grandfather was my father figure.
Okay.
Real close to my grandparents.
Nice.
And then
mom's parents?
Mom's parents, absolutely. She got remarried to my stepdad, whom is my dad.
Okay.
That's pretty much all I know. They're still married. Matter of fact, they just celebrated their 45th wedding anniversary.
Well, it sounds like mom got it right the second time.
She did.
Okay.
First time was just practice.
Got it. Starter marriage.
There you go. Get one out of the way.
Yeah. That's why I waited until about 30. So I just didn't have one of those. So I just kind of skipped that.
I unfortunately didn't skip that, but I did wait about 14 years before I did it again.
Okay. Well, I think you got it right the second time.
Absolutely, I did.
All right. So you're a good kid. Grandparents helped raise you.
Yep.
Any sports?
I wrestled a little bit in middle school.
Okay.
But I just wanted to go to work. I didn't do well in high school. I needed to go to work.
Okay.
So I did, what did they call
Well, jump right into it, Jim. Where'd you go to work?
I went to work at Winn-Dixie.
Okay.
I was the grocery store guy, not the restaurant guy.
Okay.
So I was there for 3 years, and then I got a phone call from then.
No, wait, so let me back up. Are you in high school still at this time?
No, let me see here. Let me put some dates to it. So that would have been, I started Winn-Dixie my senior. No, I started my freshman year.
Of high school?
Of high school.
Okay.
Started Winn-Dixie. And when I
graduated,
I was bagging groceries, and then I was running the dairy department.
Okay.
I was big time, dude. I was making like $6 an hour. I was rolling.
Sling of milk.
Absolutely.
Okay. They still had a dairy department. What was a dairy department?
They had each one of them was sectioned off. You had grocery, you had dairy, you had produce. I remember it well.
Okay.
Over in Callaway. That's where the Winn-Dixie was.
Okay. Another clean sweep area, thanks to Michael.
Well, Michael clean sweep the old building that I was in, and they moved over.
Did they redo it, or what's there now?
They moved.
Okay.
I don't know what's there now. I have no idea.
All right. So you're slinging milk, let's say at Winn-Dixie.
Yep.
How'd that go? Were you managing people yet?
Wasn't manage anybody.
Okay.
Their department didn't need a manager.
Okay.
Let me rephrase that. Didn't need anybody to manage the people because it was a mundane job. All you had to do was make sure everything was on the shelf and faced out.
Okay.
So worked for me.
Okay.
I was a kid.
Yep. All right. So you're senior in high school, Winn-Dixie. Where we go from there?
So I got a phone call at Winn-Dixie from a then buddy of mine. He's dead and gone now. Asked me if I want to go to work for a bank. I said, Daryl, do you realize what I graduated high school with? He goes, what are you talking about? I said, I 1.7 here, dude. They were happy to see me go.
Honest response.
He goes, what does that look like? He goes, Monday through Friday, and you wear a suit to work. I said, when do I see?
Did you have a suit?
I had to go buy some, but yes.
Okay.
I only had one at the time, but I had to go buy some more.
All right.
So my first job was at People's First Community Bank.
You started at People's?
I did.
I didn't know that.
Under Joe.
Okay. All right.
Joe Chapman.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
And my first job was folding the statements because there wasn't machines to do that. They were shipped to us, and I would literally fold and stuff statements.
All day,
every day.
That sounds horrible.
It was horrible, but I wasn't slinging milk.
That may be worse than the mailroom.
I wasn't slinging milk, though.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Were you getting at least paid like $8 an hour?
No.
Oh, still $6?
Maybe 6.5.
Okay, 50-cent raise. All
there
right.
you go.
Well, this is done.
But I went to work clean and went home clean.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Didn't smell like cheese,
nope,
I guess.
Or rotten milk or anything.
Okay, got it. All right, so you start out as a statement folder.
Yep.
I didn't even know that was a freaking thing, Jim.
That's because...
So, like, you're folding bank statements and helping to mail out, right?
Literally. So
okay.
We would get, like, it looked like a case of paper.
Mm-hmm.
All the statements would be in there, and I'd have to make sure everybody got their correct pages. I would fold them, put them in an envelope, and send it off. We did that, I don't know.
I did not know you at this time.
No,
you
not yet.
Upgraded a little bit by the time we met, but please, where did we go from paper statement holder?
Went to, I don't remember what that second job was called, but it had to do with like electronic payments and stuff because that was new. Setting things up, helping customers.
So we're kindred age here. That would have been, we're talking late 90s, right?
We're talking 94.
Okay.
Because I graduated in 93.
Okay. You're a smidgen older than me. We won't tell everybody that.
I'll turn 51 in 3 months.
Oh, I didn't know you were 50. All right. You are a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm trying to bet there's, like when I started at Ole Miss,
mm-hmm.
It was kind of a cusp of internet. So, and that was 97. So, I mean, it was there, but not like, of course, not like today, but where if you remember, you could look up stuff. You get on AOL, and I just remember looking up, dirty pictures. But, I mean, there wasn't much else out there, as far as like the interaction or electronic bills. So what were you doing?
So I was just setting some of the electronic stuff.
Okay.
That didn't last long. Okay. Because they needed someone in the credit card department.
Okay. All right.
So I'm moving on up to the main office at this point.
Nice.
So the main office was on the corner of 77 and 23rd. 77. You can picture it.
Yeah.
Big two-story.
Not the big building.
Yep.
Though. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So my first office was down the road in one of the little annex offices. But when I went to work for the credit card department, I was at the main office.
All right.
So
nice. Yeah. You're like C-suite.
I was there, baby.
Okay.
I was up top.
What were you doing then?
I was handling all of the merchant systems.
Okay.
Back when there was these original credit card swiping machines.
Hmm?
I handled those. I handled all the ATMs for the state of Florida.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. What do you mean handle? Like
any merchant that had any issue with their machine or processing credit cards or setting up new customers, that was me.
Well, so someone saw a little something in you. It sounded you went from folding paper to running all the ATMs in Florida.
Yep.
I feel like it's a pretty decent progression in a short amount of time.
So funny story about the ATMs.
Okay.
I would have to go reset them and open them up and do that sort of thing. And I'm
play
a
with
kid.
The money?
Well, the money was, I did have to haul money sometimes, but we usually left that up to the courier. That's when we had couriers and armored trucks.
Yeah.
But I would have to go open up ATMs in the middle of the night. And I'm like, okay, I'm out here, Bay County, open up an ATM. I would get out of the truck and lean a rifle up against it.
I want to presume you were, even at that young age, an avid Second Amendment guy.
To say the least.
Okay, all right.
To say the least.
We'll get into more details down the road, Abby.
Lots of details on that.
So you were carrying a rifle?
I would set a lever action rifle because I didn't have many of them. I would set a lever action rifle up there before I opened up the ATM. And the bank was
smart,
fine
especially like 2 a.m. Yeah, they probably wouldn't be fine today with their
times have changed a little bit.
Yeah, a little more tight as far as liability. Okay, so what were you doing? Like, why'd you have to open it up?
If it sucked somebody's card in by accident, if the machine went down and needed to be reset, the main hub was in Orlando.
Did you know how to fix it?
I knew where certain buttons were, but I would usually be on the phone with the folks out of Orlando that would tell me what to do.
Okay. You were driving around. I mean, I
had a van. They gave me a van.
Where?
Looked like Chester driving.
No windows?
No windows in the back.
Like a van down by the river type deal?
No windows.
How big were they? I didn't realize they were like in Orlando stuff.
Oh, yeah. We had, gosh.
Like, I guess, what territory were you covering?
Literally Florida, from Jacksonville to Orlando to Pensacola.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. All right. So you're all over.
Yep.
Are you single at this point in life?
I was married in 1994. Fast forward to 1997.
18 years old?
I knew everything at 18. Just ask me, I'll tell you.
Me too. Yeah. I agree.
Smartest person in the world.
I just wasn't that smart to get married.
No, I was. I knew everything.
Okay.
1997 got divorced.
Okay.
That was my
starter marriage.
That was my starter marriage.
Okay.
My warm up.
No kids or anything from that.
Not at all.
Just kind of a go at it. All right. Well, let's go back to business. Progressing pretty rapidly.
Then I get a phone call from a local lender that said, have I ever thought about lending money on mortgages? I was like, no, I haven't.
So let me ask you, you're 20?
97, I was 22.
Okay, 22. You had to have some pretty damn good personality or some wits about you, common sense. Which was it?
I love to talk to people.
Okay.
I wanted to know everything. I wanted to be involved in everything. If there was a function, I was there.
Okay.
That was me.
That makes sense. Yeah. All right. People guy.
Yep.
All right.
At the time.
That
changed.
We'll come back to that too. We got a lot to come back to, but we're maybe like aligned there to some extent. As you're mature in life. All right. So cool. So you went to work for
National City Mortgage.
Was that a broker?
They were a bank. We just didn't have a depository facility in Panama City.
Okay.
So we had a little branch office. National City Bank, I want to say, was located out of Ohio at the time.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain they're not around anymore.
Okay. Yeah. Probably got gobbled up or something.
Yep. But we did everything. We did all the underwriting. Everything was in-house.
And you were a loan officer?
I was a loan officer.
So who gave you this opportunity?
Her name was Pam Jacobs.
Did she see something in you? Did she catch you at an ATM with your rifle and like, that guy can sling loans?
Well, I kind of have an inside gig because the underwriter was my aunt.
Okay.
It worked.
Not what you know?
It too, you know.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, still, again, this is how we establish your path to where you are today. So your aunt was an underwriter for this bank and you went out and started slinging mortgages.
Gave me an opportunity and I showed myself. Worked well for about 3 years and then I got another opportunity and I went to, Georgia, I think the name of it was Emerald Coast Bank.
Yeah.
I was there. Yep.
Okay. Were they in Panama City or were you over in?
They were in Panama City Beach.
Okay. Got it. All right.
And I'm going way back.
Did you like the loan officer gig?
I did at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Giving money out that wasn't mine.
Good at it.
I enjoyed that.
But they were, I mean.
Did you like that, Abby?
But the money was probably pretty good for 25 years old, I mean, at the time.
Dude, when you're making $5,000 a month, you're like.
You're Bay County.
Yes.
And I'm not discounting Bay County.
I'll do that later.
Well, I just because of where we sit, I think people sometimes like, all right, well, it's over to Bay County. Well, dude, our offices do great over there. And there's wonderful people over there. But it is sometimes the demographics are a little different. But I would think for your price point, let me put it a different way. The price point.
That was when you were.
For your age, that's a good living.
It's when you're pumping out the what are they, FHA loans, the VA loans.
Yeah.
You get in with different folks that are giving grants to first-time home buyers. I was all over that.
Okay. Nice.
All over that.
So you know how to work that government system.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So Emerald Coast, they got bought.
No clue. Because I left them and went. That's when I started skipping around. Kind of had my head up my butt a little bit. I did a stint at Bank of America. Had a little branch office down there at the time. I did a stint at Chase Bank in Pensacola. That's when I moved to Pensacola. So we're moving up to 2004. 2004.
Well, this is when you're a loan officer. As long as you could, write English and, speak, you could make a lot of money.
If you could form a sentence, you were making money.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. If you could speak.
That's also why the world blew up, 4 years
Absolutely.
later. So,
I did have a hand in that, as we all did.
well, hold on. I want to get there because I was present for that part. But so in that time, I was here in this market, but all the markets you're talking about, I was always told in banking, you said, you kind of joked, said you had head up your butt because you moved around. But I was always told, and I don't know if this still holds true, but in banking to kind of move up, typically it doesn't happen internally.
If you got to move up, you got to move out.
Yeah. Type deal. Okay. So, if you're good at what you do and people are recruiting you, not necessarily a bad thing.
With my head up my butt, I kind of lost my way.
I got you. Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. Big time. That was running the roads, divorced, no cares, no kids.
Single guy here at the beach. Okay. We were in the same boat at the same time, so you get no judgment from over this side of the table.
I'm good with judgment. That doesn't bother me a bit.
I was very single and growing our company, so
and it was educational.
Yeah,
very educational.
So did you physically move to Pensacola?
I physically moved to Pensacola.
How long?
That's when I was with Chase. Less than a year.
Okay.
Because that's when Ivan hit.
Yep.
And after Ivan hit, they closed the office. The little apartment that I was living in was destroyed. Didn't have a whole lot to be destroyed, but what I had was gone.
Did you leave?
I left.
Were you in it?
No, I wasn't in it. I was at Granddaddy's house, actually.
Okay, got it. Moved to the other end of the beach.
Yep, moved to the other end. Couldn't get off the water for some reason, and I hate the beach. We'll get into that later as well. But after Ivan, I said, I'm done.
Yeah.
So I went back to Panama City, and a buddy of mine had called me with Vision Bank.
Okay.
Whom you remember.
Oh, yeah.
Stan Lindsay said, hey, why don't you come work for me?
I remember Stan.
How do you forget Stan?
Yeah, you don't.
I said, let's do it. And I was there for, and I'll back up and give you a lot of the details. I was there for about 7 years.
You were there that long?
I was there for a while, yep.
Okay. So, all right. Yeah, back up. What'd you go over as?
I went over as a loan officer.
You were a loan officer.
Straight loan officer. They wanted to open an office in Destin.
Uh-huh.
Just a little LPO. Eventually open up a bank, but they went ahead and they did the full-fledged branch over there. So I moved to Destin.
And that was down like by Big Kahuna, wasn't it?
That's exactly where it was. It's actually where the Chick-fil-A is now.
Okay.
They tore that shopping center down.
Yep. Or shopping center, yeah.
They tore that down. I lived in a townhouse behind there off of Matty Kelly Boulevard.
Okay.
Again, living large. I'm in 32541 right now.
Yeah.
So life was good.
Destin was
I was becoming a Destinite. So we did that for, oh Lord, they promoted me to sales manager in 07 or 08.
Okay.
So then
so you're in charge of like all
Alabama and Florida. Yep.
All the loan officers
for 2 states.
Okay.
And that was good until Centennial came and bought the bank.
Okay.
They fired.
Wasn't that an absorption?
So how they bought that bank, I'm not going to get into the details because I would probably screw it up. But they said, we're going to buy the bank. And that was when things were crappy.
Yeah.
We're going to buy the bank. We don't want any of the bad assets. And whatever we buy, if something goes bad in the next 90 or 120 days or whatever it was, you buy it back from us.
Yep.
And Vision said, okay.
That's about right.
Yep. And there was another purchase in there in the middle from Park National.
We closed and auctioned all the bad stuff.
You were busy.
Ohio.
That was Park National.
Yeah, Park National. Yeah, out of Ohio. Yeah. I was working with a bag of shit.
Yep. So, you had a lot of it.
Yeah.
You had a big bag.
A ton of it. There was a bunch.
You had a
actually.
big bag.
It was impressive how much bad vision had, and because it was still a sale, it wasn't a FDIC, fire sale type deal.
We never had the feds come in Friday at 5 in the black cars and shoot and lock the doors. That never happened.
Yep,
I don't know how, but it didn't.
Well, so going back, do you like the loan officer role or the sales manager role more?
So I was getting to the point to where dealing with the general public was not something that I enjoyed. And I've always been the type of person that I got a very healthy boundary for people that don't make me feel good. So the sales manager role was perfect.
Okay.
All I had was
that makes sense.
25, 30 loan officers between 2 states, and I traveled and talked to them all the time.
Good people?
Good people.
Yeah.
Mostly good people.
Why do you think you started to feel that way?
I don't know. I hadn't been able to pinpoint that.
Interesting.
But I've always wanted I don't manage people. I will lead people. Yep. This is where I'm going. I want you to follow me. I'm not going to tell you to do something that I'm not willing to do.
Yep.
And I can tell you how I did it because it worked.
Yep.
You can find your own little niche inside of that, but if you follow the ground rules here, you'll be fine. You'll make a good living.
So you were happier in that transition leading people. I get it.
The hiring and firing was new for me.
Really?
Yeah. First time I had to fire somebody, it ruined my day.
I can see that. I still get anxious, and I should be not something I'm proud about that I've had to fire people.
Right.
It makes it a lot easier if you've got a really good reason. Like
100%.
It pisses me off.
Absolutely.
You messed up something royally or stole something, but I'm very fortunate that we never really laid off anybody, even through all the stuff. I never had to have that conversation. But yeah, for certain people, they've got. They got a life beyond work, and that always makes it tough, especially if you know them. That makes it even really harder. They're personalized.
You have to build that little wall, and you have to keep people at a distance.
Yep.
And it was hard because I had a lot of good people working for me, but you just can't go there because something may happen. Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure that's coming from a place of learned truth.
Absolutely,
hard knocks, whatever you want to call it, because I did the same thing. You're friends with everybody at work, and it's all fun and games, and then one of them messes up. You know them personally, makes it a lot harder.
You have to invite them to seek happiness elsewhere.
Yes. Do you did that? I mean, I'm sure you had to do the hiring and firing at some point, but you started to go down. Vision was acquired by the good parts of Vision were acquired by Centennial. Did you have to lay a bunch of people off?
No,
they let you off.
They let me off.
Okay.
So they They let go 61 members of management, and I was the 61st.
Okay.
They were going back and forth on whether to get rid of me or not.
Did they keep all the loan officers?
They kept a lot of them. They didn't keep any of the management, from my memory anyway.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, they've grown to be, they're a decent bank now. Not a decent bank. I don't know how to handle that part of it.
Right.
But,
At Park National, and I have no issues saying this. You can cut out if you want. It's where I met Satan himself.
Okay.
Martin Sandell.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Martin?
That's not getting cut out.
Okay, good.
I hope he hears it. Wholeheartedly.
Hope he hears it.
I know exactly who you're talking about, dude.
Little story about Martin.
Please.
So they let me go February of 2012. Let me paint that picture for you.
Centennial.
No, well, Centennial or Park, however you want to look at it.
Okay.
I never got any paycheck from Centennial, so it was Park.
Got it.
I had been gone right at a year. When they let me go, I had a almost 2-year-old son, and Kendall was 7 months pregnant. And I just got the phone call. I ain't got a job.
Yeah.
Problem. Fast forward a year. My attorney calls me. He goes, hey, you just got served again to show up for Park National on a loan. I said, I'm not going. He says, well, you kind of have to. I said, no, I don't. You call them and tell them, I know where all the bodies are buried. If they want me to go to court, I'll go to court. But you're going to see me a lot for the next 3 years.
I didn't know this.
10 minutes later, I get a phone call from him that says, you've been released. Don't worry about it.
Nice. Yeah, they had a lot.
Yep.
But I had to deal with that special human being as well on a different side of the fence, if you will, but still
Don't want anything I don't wish any ill will on him. I don't want anything to do with him.
Yeah.
And
they were
hadn't talked to him since.
You went through that time. I guess my experience was a little earlier because, we were all aggressive at that time.
Yep.
The 06 to 08 or however, what it was as far as real estate. So we ended up with some bad stuff. Okay. We were upside down. It's either I give up the cash cow that's actually making money, or the whole ship goes down if I don't give up some of the real estate. The bad part is, and I know this to be true with a lot of people, the guys and gals that went and said, hey, let's work something out, got the big middle finger. Now, I think Vision / Park National / Martin gave everybody the middle finger. They were as ruthless as it comes.
Absolutely, they were.
The debt. But, or at least from my perspective of seeing it, we just happen to be the ones that they picked to use because of our footprint, covered their footprint of bad debt. We could close all the shit and had offices in all the areas pretty much.
And you got to deal with the man himself.
Yeah. Oh, he was a special. Those guys showed up at a auction in Orange Beach.
Yep. We had offices over there.
Yeah. At the wharf.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fairly new property at the time. It was a convention center. They had these 3-piece, $10,000 suits on. And
they shined in the sun.
Oh, yeah. And you are rednecks everywhere trying to buy this farmland and swampland and these little houses. And I'm like, you guys look so freaking out of place. Just go away and let us do the auction.
Just keep your phone on.
Yeah.
We'll call you if we need you.
Anyway, it was definitely an interesting time. I learned a lot from that. But point, there's a lot of folks like both of us that tried to work things out. And then, you wouldn't. And then you go see, I'm seeing it from a closing perspective, short sale.
Right.
I'm like, dude, I would have done this deal in a heartbeat. It was, whatever, similar transaction type deal. So, you and I are kindred on the Martin Sendell thing. So, but I think all, life strife, tough times makes us who we are.
Was the best thing that ever happened to me.
See, I didn't know that, but I knew it. So what happened?
So after I got my head screwed back on, I had a little bit of brown water that evening, as you can imagine.
Yep.
We had to figure out how to start flipping houses.
Okay.
Because I always wanted to work with my hands.
Mm-hmm.
I was tired of the phone ringing. I was tired of managing people at that point. So Kendall and I started buying houses and flipping them. That was when you could get a good house for, I'm going to use round numbers, $100,000, put $50,000 in it, sell it for $250,000.
Yeah.
All day long.
No, she was selling real estate.
She was in real estate at Emerald Grand.
Okay.
Which is where I met her actually met her in 2005 because I was her banker.
Oh, you slide dog.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was me. I was her banker, and she considered me her banker friend.
That's awesome.
As we celebrate our 16-year anniversary this coming Friday.
Congratulations. When did you get married?
We got married December 19th of 2009.
Yeah, we got married November 14th. We're literally
so you're right apart. There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. A little sidetrack memory lane.
So she got to see all that.
Yeah.
She got to see me getting served every day. The process server would just call me on my cell phone and said, "Hey, Jim, I got another one for you. Where are you?"
Yep. That
was my last 3 years of banking.
Well, I was still in the title industry, and yeah, my wife got to see it all too because we got married, and then it just went
straight down.
So I'm like, you better love me for me, sweetheart, because I'm broke.
For better or for worse. We're going to start out for worse right now.
Yeah, we did. I had a baby and lost a house. So,
I did that in 2001.
Okay.
For absolutely no reason other than I had my head on my butt.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, I've been there, seen that.
Yeah. All right. So back to you. Y'all are figuring out how to make a living. Basically, what a lot of people are doing that were, over leveraged or however you want to put it. Y'all start flipping houses.
So we borrowed some money from her grandmother.
Okay.
Seed money. And that's what we started doing.
Awesome.
Flipping
So
houses.
Where were you doing it? Are you in South Walton? Are you Bay County? Wherever?
So we lived in the townhouse after we got married for 6 months, maybe. And our first house was in Regatta Bay, Captain Circle. I actually used my banking skills to get that house. They had a short sale. So I called the bank, SunTrust at the time.
Uh-huh.
And I said, look, I'm in banking. I know how this works. You got this asset over here that you can't sell. Let me assume that loan and I'll take it off your hands. I will turn your non-performing asset into a performing asset. So that was her wedding present. The house.
So was the house upside down? Or they give you a break on the loan?
They gave me a break.
Okay. Nice.
And we ended up selling it later on down the road. But when I got let go, we started flipping. And we flipped for, that was 12, 13, 14. We flipped for 2.5, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we were getting after it too. It got to the point where I wasn't working on the house anymore. I stayed on the phone again and doing all the books.
Yeah.
Because we were buying 2 at a time. 3 at a time, whatever that looked like. So I was making sure that the crews were doing what they should do, and she would come in and she'd sell them.
Okay.
It worked out well for a while.
Yeah.
Until some of the subs got to where they wasn't showing up. So I said, okay, I know how to fix this. So in 2015, we actually opened up in 16. I opened up 7 businesses.
Please continue, sir.
Plumbing company, electric company, HVAC company, engineering company, construction company, concrete company, and just for the heck of it, I opened up a gun company.
Well, let's start with the construction part for where we're at. I know the gun company will come into play later, but I mean, clearly out of the story, you did this out of necessity.
Yep. But then I stopped flipping houses because I had to run the businesses.
But did you, I mean, this is intriguing to me. I've never really asked you this. You started the companies. How'd you get the subs? You couldn't get them on your own. So how'd you get them to work for you?
I had a partner in every single business I had because I'm not a licensed plumber. I'm not a licensed electrician. Right. I don't know how to do that. Not properly. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
So I partnered with certain people and then we hired, George, I had 50 people at one time.
Yeah.
That I'd have to get out the door every morning.
So was this, like, all right, you had a good electrician you were using. Hey, let's go start. Is this where Elevated?
That's where Elevated was
came from or born. So, okay, that makes sense.
That's where Elevated was born.
So you had to quit the house flipping.
Had to stop the flipping.
Okay.
So as you know, when you start a business, you don't make any money for a while.
Oh yeah.
Thank God Kendall was selling.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about a strenuous marriage, when I would be working 12, 14 hours a day, and there wasn't a whole lot of money coming in, but we made it work.
Yeah.
We made it work.
Well, that's a testament to both of you. Look, that's part of it. It ain't ever easy.
No, never.
But you mentioned that you don't make a lot of money, especially when you start a business. I had someone here last week that Dan Buckner.
Yep.
And
hadn't seen him since the day before yesterday.
Okay. It's hard to get somebody to understand the role of, let's just say, an entrepreneur, owner, if you've never had to pay everybody else and not pay yourself. And I think in today's environment, if you will, and not to go too down the political rabbit hole, you don't get a lot of that anymore.
Nope.
On both sides.
Until you stress over payroll on a Friday,
yeah,
you haven't lived.
Yeah, I agree. It makes you a believer.
Yep.
And then everybody looks at the upside. Wait, you didn't see me when I was over here.
Right.
Sweating bullets and just making sure everybody else was taken care of.
And your people think you're rolling in it.
On Saturday.
Yep.
Yeah.
People think that you're making money hand over fist.
Yeah. Not so
You're
much.
just trying to pay the bills.
Exactly. All right. So, but I know for a fact those got kicked up because I used several of those services over the years. So I know you made it work.
We had to make it work. I want to back up and tell you about what I had to do to Kendall. So this was, Annabelle was born in April of 12, 6 months later. So we're new at flipping houses.
Okay.
We schedule me a vasectomy and I go have a vasectomy. Shortly after that is when I looked at her and I had to, I don't want to say pull rank, but I used my godly given ability and I said, you need to quit your job. She looked at me and said, what'd you say? I said, you need to quit your job. She was working at Emerald Grant at the time.
Right.
I said, it's time for you to go out on your own.
Oh, that type of quit your
Yeah.
job. I thought you were told to quit.
No, not permanently.
I
Just
was saying, from what I know, you didn't win that battle, if that was the case.
no, not that one. Thank God.
Yeah.
But I said, it's time for you to quit your job where you are and go out on your own. And she looked at me. She goes, I'm getting paid right now and you're not. Trust me.
Yep.
Quit your job. She did.
Okay.
She went out on her own.
Did she have some kind of like retainer thing with them?
Not at all. She was able to turn her resignation in. And
No. I meant, did she have a more steady paycheck other than commission, or was that just?
No, that was Immigrant was pretty steady.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Makes sense.
When you don't have a whole lot, you don't have a whole lot to pay for. You don't need a whole lot.
Yeah.
So she was making enough to get us where we needed to be.
Got it.
And we were making money in the flips.
Yeah.
Getting
All
to
right.
where we were making money in the flips.
But I mean, I would agree with you. Knowing things in retrospect, it was probably another blessing that
Absolutely.
she actually listened to you.
Absolutely.
So is that where did she go out on her own totally at that point? Or was
Yes.
she with a team? Where'd she go?
There was some, a spot in there where she was a broker for someone for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
but then she went out on her own. That's where what used to be Key Realty
Yeah. I don't know. I
was
don't
born.
remember her being with another broker.
It was
herself.
low key. It was some people we had partnered with in flipping for a very short time.
Okay. All right. So she's out on her own.
We open up.
Does she make any money?
She was doing her thing because, as you know, people do with real estate agents because of the people,
Yeah, for sure.
not where you're housed.
Yeah.
Now there may be different support groups that help you if you're with a larger firm or what have you, but she's real good at what she does, and she had her people.
Okay.
So
Good. So
She
she was
kept
still
that
able to
book rolling.
sustain,
Right.
Flipping houses. Then she stayed with that for a while. So
Yep.
you have elevated plumbing, electrical,
all of them.
et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Had them all.
Okay. So how'd all that go?
Sold some, combined some, and just closed some.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them wasn't making any money. I needed to get out. I ended up keeping the electrical and the plumbing and combining those into Elevated 850.
Did you ever do new construction, or were you always service side?
We did new construction as well.
You did? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I mean, just because, where everything spawned out of
Right.
was
Construction.
construction. at
Right.
least.
And that was the part that I
Some
did.
people don't do that at all. You have AC company.
And
They'll
I can
do service,
appreciate that.
but not installs. And
They stay in their lane.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because I got out of my lane. And
okay,
figured I was...
which lane, Jim?
I was in everybody's lane.
Okay,
I wanted to do all of it. Didn't work well.
This is a 10-lane highway.
Yes.
Identify which lane you actually got out of.
I was in all... So we kept the plumbing and electric company.
Okay.
I ended up parting ways with all of my partners.
Okay.
Every one of them.
Good, bad?
Most of them were good.
Okay.
Two, not so much. Unfortunately, one of the two was some of her family.
I didn't know that.
That made Thanksgiving very interesting.
Yep. Awkward.
Very awkward and
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably why it doesn't happen anymore.
Okay.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
part of it.
Yeah.
I tried to do something that couldn't be done.
Gotcha. All right. We won't go too deep on that one. How about that?
Yeah,
We'll stay out of that.
we scratched it. We're good.
Got it.
It's
All
just
right.
gone.
So you got the plumbing and electrical, though. Right?
Maintain that. We combined those two in 2018,
Okay.
and I just sold that 2 years ago this month.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Last month, 2 years ago last month.
How was COVID for you guys?
Didn't exist because we were essential.
Yeah.
People still needed plumbing. They still needed electrical work done.
Yeah.
So it
And the building industry was still it slowed down.
we're in Florida, man. We're in the free state.
Yeah.
COVID lasted about 6 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I've said on this podcast. I realized that my wife and I put a huge dent in my wine cellar, and we are not built for homeschooling
No,
at all.
negative.
And
Agreed.
I actually, teachers need to be paid more. They need to be put on a pedestal, and they need some kind of comp as far as the better teachers get paid better. But I don't know how in the hell you keep a group of, and Bellamy was a gateway, let's say 18 kids on a Zoom call that are in first grade. And you
ADHD kids.
yeah,
on a
you
Zoom
can't
call.
keep them in a room
Right.
all focused. I mean, I was sitting there in the background, like watching this shit show. And I'm like,
That's because that's what it was.
This is pointless. They're not learning anything.
It was tough. And Kendall took that bull by the horns. She hated it. She claimed she wasn't good at it, but she.
Oh yeah, they
she
make
made
it
work.
happen. They're moms.
Right.
They they get it done. But definitely some relationship talks during that period of time. And it was a short period of time, thankfully. I couldn't imagine some of these folks or families that are locked down for a year.
Cannot imagine.
I think, like I said, the wine probably was a saving grace for us. But like you said, I feel like mine was even less than that. Ours, I felt like about 3 weeks before I was like, okay, I'm not worrying anymore because we have more business than we know what to do with. We were like kind of chasing ourselves.
Real estate's still moving.
Yeah, very much so. And construction,
yep,
for that matter. So you guys, just a blip on the screen and you're cooking, right?
It was a blip professionally.
Yeah.
Personally, Mom was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Okay.
During this whole thing.
Sorry.
So we had to drop her off at the hospital to have a double mastectomy.
Ooh. Oh. Okay.
You talking tough?
Yeah.
You can't go in with her. Can't go see her. Can't.
Yeah.
None of it.
I didn't think about that aspect. Yeah.
None of it. So that was tough.
Yeah. Was she in Bay County still?
No, she was over here. I skipped part of the story. So I moved my sister over here and my mother over here. Moved my sister from just outside of Atlanta to come work for me in 2016 and moved Mom over to come work for me from Bay County.
All right. So the family affair.
Yes. You know who you can trust with your money.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well,
agreed.
What should be money.
Okay. You gotta have it.
Gotta have it to have it managed, that's for sure.
Does your mom and sister still work with you?
My sister does.
Okay.
Mom retired. She's ready to be a grandmother.
Okay, good. Good for her.
So, absolutely.
So did Mom come out okay?
Mom came out okay, clean bill of health.
Nice.
That's
good
been
for Mom.
5 years removed now?
Yeah, that was weird.
We
didn't have any, I had a friend whose dad passed from pancreatic, and they wouldn't let him see him at all, which is just, in retrospect, just kind of just insane.
Ain't enough of them to stop me if that was to happen.
Well, yeah, I know, but this was not in Florida either. I think, at least I feel like if there were certain visitation rights, depending on the situation, where you could at least go in there and see somebody, certain protocols. But I don't know. There's part of me like, all right, well, the first 6 weeks, I think Florida probably handled it best. Let's say that.
Agreed.
With the lack of knowledge and the disinformation or whatever the hell you want to call it, that was being put out. If you didn't learn a lesson about pandemics or pharmaceuticals and it all being money driven, you're not paying attention or you just don't want to.
There's a lot of people made a lot of money during that shutdown.
Oh, a ton. And pharmaceutical companies are the biggest. And
100 times more people than that, lives were just destroyed.
Yeah, because no reason at all other than government overreach. All right, so we're getting close to present day.
Getting there.
At what point did you decide, well, you said you started a gun company, so please, you tell the story. Where did you started with the 10 other companies you started?
Never met a man that didn't want to get online, order a gun, and have it dropped off at his doorstep 2 days later.
Agreed.
So why not get an FFL,
beautiful. Right? Yeah.
So we opened that up. Our original intention was to purchase other suppressors and just sell them.
Okay.
Because there wasn't anybody that I knew of at the time in town doing that.
Locally. Or like a local gun shop.
Right.
But you never did that, did you?
Never did guns.
Okay.
Never did even bring other people's stuff in.
Okay.
God put an idea in my head about late 2017 about a suppressor baffle stack. That's the inside of the can.
Okay.
And I drew
like a unique,
like
a Jim Hood design.
Drew it out on a napkin.
Okay.
And one thing led to
great ideas
another.
come on a napkin.
It worked. It was a coffee napkin because it was stained. I remember it.
Okay.
And called a buddy of mine. I said, hey, I need an engineer. He hooked me up with someone. He made me 3 prototypes.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Took the first one to the range. Worked perfectly.
So what is this patented? Patent pending?
Nope.
Is there anything you can share that would actually make sense to the folks out there that makes yours unique?
So when you fast forward about patents and suppressors, all suppressor companies pretty much do the same thing. We take something that's loud and make it not so loud.
Mm-hmm.
And I call them suppressors, not silencers. That we'll get off on that in a minute. But it's about how it happens. Like the inside of the can, how do you design your baffle stack? How do you take those gases and cool them off before it expels out of the end of the can to make it quieter?
Mm-hmm.
But then there's 15 other things that you got to think about. You got to think about the back pressure on the weapon itself. You got to think about the point of impact shift. All these things we had to figure out. And I wanted one that you could take off one gun and put it on another with ease with muzzle brake.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we did.
Well, let's back up because that you just went fairly technical on that. Where'd you get the passion for the guns, and where did you get the knowledge about how a freaking silencer or suppressor even works?
So the passion for guns is apparently in the blood.
Yeah.
I've been eat up with it. I've been a gun nut my whole life.
When you were protecting ATMs with it.
Absolutely. With a lever gun. 30-30 it was.
Okay.
So, it was, excuse me. The more I got to looking at it, engineers they take what you draw and they make it proper. Because I knew what I wanted and I had it drawn out conceptually in my mind. And I said, this is how I feel like it'll work. Little did I know there were programs out there that would take your drawing and go, okay, yeah, that'll work. Or no, that won't work. Mine happened to work with a dual blast chamber and that's real technical.
Did you reverse engineer this? Meaning, did you learn about this after you became passionate about it, or was this just some?
It's a muffler.
Okay. Where'd you learn about mufflers, Jim?
It's where you take, I don't even know how to describe it. I can figure anything out.
Right.
So my grandfather taught me, he didn't teach me how to do any one thing. He just taught me how to figure stuff out.
Okay. Fair enough.
I figured it out. Okay, the bullet comes out of there. There's a lot of gases. It's just got the case pressure, and you just work on it until I got to move this through here really quick, and I got to cool it off before it goes.
Was there anything that triggered your passion for figuring this out?
No, I just wanted to do it.
Okay.
I just wanted to figure it out.
I didn't know if maybe you were shooting somewhere that you didn't want anybody to hear you.
I was hunting with my son, and I left my only can I had at the time at home, and I knew I couldn't shoot.
Okay.
Because the point of impact shift that I would have suppressed versus unsuppressed, because my gun was zeroed with my suppressor. So if I left it home, I could shoot. So I'm sitting there going,
what, at night, was it?
No, it was not at night.
Okay.
I had my, he was
sure.
8 years old at the time, 9 years old at the time. I said, you can't tell me that we can't figure out how to have a minimal impact shift to where if you do leave it at home, you can still kill something.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that.
And your vision on your napkin was also to be able to pop it on a different.
Exactly.
And different, like ballistics as well, or.
When you got a lot of guns, as you well know, sometimes you open the safe door and you go, what do I want to hunt with today?
Right.
I'll hunt with that one.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of having to do a bunch of changes, you just take your can off, put it on that gun and go.
Okay.
And that's what we did.
Okay. All right. So you made the design. Clearly it worked. You're talking about the engineers put it in a CAD machine.
Correct.
Kind of CAD machine, and I don't want to discount it. But your first go at it, whatever you had on this beautiful napkin, actually worked.
Yes, it did.
Okay.
We borrowed a decimal meter from a friend and went to the range. We went to Bullets and Bones.
Buddy.
We rented that range when it was closed one day.
50 cal up there.
I'm sure Mark loves that.
Yeah.
But when we shot it the first time, we looked at everybody and we said, that's it. Because it sounded beautiful. It was music that came out of that gun.
Love it.
And the point of impact shift was minimal. It was a happy day.
Yeah. So you're doing this mainly at the time designed for hunting type
Correct.
rifles. Okay.
That was all that was in my wheelhouse at the time.
Got it.
Now I did very little training, very little tactical training for protection and that sort of thing. Been carrying a gun my whole life and used the concealed carry.
Yeah.
And trained that way. But as far as what I'm into now, no, that never crossed my path.
All right. So where are we with the suppressors today?
Today we are 3D printing metal.
So you're producing them yourselves?
We are 3D printing titanium
Okay.
on our 30 cal cans now,
Nice.
which is something I never thought could be done.
Yeah. So it's a titanium can.
We have a line that's titanium can. We got other lines that are stainless and what have you, but
Less expensive.
about the same, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Just depends on what your application.
I don't know. I always associate everything titanium seems to be a little more expensive.
The 3D print's a little bit more expensive,
Uh-huh.
but it's not as durable as some of the other stuff. But you're not doing the training on our big 30 cal cans that you would do on like a 5.56 can.
Got it.
There's not as many rounds going to it.
Okay. So how are sales? How's the company?
Company is growing.
Is this what you're doing now today?
That
For the most part?
That is, for the most part, what I'm doing today. That is
Okay.
my sole job.
Okay.
And it is fun.
Yeah, I bet. So when did you start? I mean, the first 3 cans you got, what year was that?
2018.
Okay. When did you start looking at venturing outside of just being, making, let's say, hunting suppressors?
Couldn't be a one-trick pony.
Okay. Fair.
So we had licensed the design from an existing suppressor manufacturer. That didn't last long.
What do you mean by that? Explain that.
So he had a design he couldn't get off the ground.
Okay.
So I said, we have the ways, means, and know how to do that. License me that for X number of years. We'll make them put our stuff on them, and then you get a royalty.
So this wasn't your design?
The original can was. The other lines that we had, like the 22, our original 22 can and our 22 barrels were not mine.
Okay. So yours was just for what?
Just for hunting.
Okay.
Just the big 30 cal can.
Got it. All right. So you're starting to produce these. You license some others.
Mm-hmm.
When did we have our first sale?
Our first sale was 2019, right before COVID.
Okay.
Because there was a lot more that went into it that I completely underestimated.
Like the manufacturing part?
The manufacturing, the sales, the advertising, social media. That's still a hiccup with me because I don't understand it.
You and me both.
I just don't get it. There was the different competitions that's out there. I didn't understand any of that. So I jumped in blindfolded and thought I could figure it all out.
Well, of course you could. So give me some of like the different, where you say you don't understand the big competition. What do you mean by that?
So there were a lot of questions that we didn't ask. How many cans are available on the market? What's the size of the market in the U.S.? Who's got the majority of it? How does all that work?
Okay.
And that's what I had to learn.
What at that time a little more difficult?
It was a lot more difficult.
License for one?
Right. It was a lot more difficult.
Stamp, if you will.
So at the time, it was taking a year plus once you applied for a tax stamp before it was approved. So I got to convince somebody to give me
your assembly line a little bit.
Just a little bit. I got to convince somebody to give me $1,400 for something that I can't let them have for over a year.
Oh yeah, that drive me nuts. Yeah,
and that's what I had to do.
Okay, we'll come back to that. So, all right, how did you kind of navigate that?
There was no way to do it. The best thing to do is let people shoot it, because after you shoot suppressed, there's no going back.
Yeah, I get that.
No going back.
But not navigate it. Well, okay, you answered the question. I guess you like, but how, social media, you can't make this work in South Walton selling out of off of 393.
So I had to hire no, because I tried. I had to hire a social media guy.
Okay, got it.
I went through a couple of them, and then ended up where I am now. My boy Justin, Jordan Weaver, he is the man. Young kid, big beard, savvy with the social media platforms, all of them, and knows and loves guns. Used to be a competitive shooter.
Okay.
Great at what he does. And it's hard to find that person that knows both of them.
I would think so.
Because if you know guns, chances are you don't even like to look at your phone.
Yep.
If you know social media, chances are you think guns are bad.
Yep.
That's just my take on it. But I had to hire him to do all the, what's that word that we used? Hire content.
Content.
I learned what that word meant.
Okay.
He shot all of our content, made all of our posts, And he tries to tell me about all the algorithms that you got to get into, and you got to post at this time, and you can only use these, what are the words that when you hashtag them? What's that word? Anyway, keywords. There we go.
Thank
the
you,
keywords you got to put in there so people see your stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about that.
Okay. Yeah. You and I, same boat. Different product, but same boat.
Same.
But you're still selling. So I use this. This is good. So for me, I'm not selling a widget. I'm not discounting your suppressor as a widget, but I'm selling more of a service, even though there is it was not even a tangible product, but we're selling an insurance. But most people you don't whip in and buy some title insurance. So I was always like with our team, they're like, we got to do more on social media. We're like, why? Like if branding, great, but no one's going to whip in there and be like, oh, I'm going to use Setco to buy some title insurance. Well, shit don't work that way. You got to go find a house first. And usually a realtor is directing that part of it, and that's how we get the business. But in your world, I absolutely can see. So did you go like are there videos out there? And forgive me, I only recently got on social media because this team here asked me to.
It's a necessary evil.
Yeah. I'm on the gram, Jim. I know you're impressed. So are there videos out there that I need to go look for of you shooting at the range and stuff?
There's a lot of old videos out there of us going to different shoots.
Why are they old? Are you not keeping up with your social media, boss?
There's not new videos of me. There's old videos of me, but not new ones.
There's better looking younger guys and gals out there in the video. Okay, I get that.
The whole bigger, better, badder, stronger.
That's right.
That's not me.
It's like big military guys and hot chicks.
There you go.
There you go.
Gun bunnies.
Yeah, we know the demographic that's probably buying your stuff. Good old 18 to 32.
There you go. That's the ones that are all over it.
Yeah. All right. So it's working. Right?
It's working.
Okay.
We got a lot of big stuff coming this year.
When did you start getting into and leading the conversation here a little bit? You started doing more military type stuff. And I say more government may not be the right word, but you started to venture into that world. When did that happen?
So this will be a good story for you.
Okay.
The original engineer that my buddy put me in touch with introduced me to someone.
Okay.
Griff Griffin. He's my patent attorney.
Okay.
He's a dear friend of mine now. I tell you that because that's the preface to how I met everybody else. So the relationship between me and my original engineer went south.
Okay.
Big time. I don't regret any of that.
May I ask why?
Laziness, wanted to do other things with some other big money people. That didn't go well for him in the beginning.
Okay. So it wasn't like a conflict, like he was claiming your product.
Not at all. Not at all.
Got it.
Didn't have any of those issues.
Got it. Okay.
I like the guy. I've always have. Hadn't talked to him in many years, but I've always liked the guy.
Where is this Griff guy out of?
Griff's out of Atlanta.
Okay.
Awesome guy. Out of that failed relationship, brought me to where I am today.
Okay.
Because he introduced me to Griff, who introduced me to David Kramer, who introduced me to a gazillion other people, and lots of friends in between there. David Kramer started a philanthropy, hard word for me to say, SOCF, Special Operations Care Fund.
Mm-hmm.
And they raise a ton of money every year for veterans. Awesome organization. But he's the one that introduced me to a ton of these guys.
Gotcha.
And I've made friends with a ton of them, and they have introduced me to a ton of them. There's not a day that goes by that I don't talk to 10 or 12 operators.
So when you say these guys, you're talking about maybe special forces guys?
Correct.
Okay.
So looking back on it, there's not really anybody that I haven't met or don't know that was any major conflict since the first Gulf War.
Okay.
Know all these guys that have done all the stuff you see on TV, all the books, all that. Phenomenal human beings.
For sure.
Phenomenal human beings. And I'm blessed enough to call them friend.
So, okay, but you got all these friends. I'm guessing at some point you're like, hey, you want to try this suppressor I got over here?
Most of them shoot my stuff now.
Okay.
The thing about them is you don't see them on social media.
Yeah. Well,
that's all word of mouth.
Yeah. Well, that's
whether they're
even
training,
more of a compliment to you.
Yeah.
So, but they're not shooting 30/30s or whatever.
No, not at all.
So when did you kind of start looking outside? Well, let me start back. Are those your models? Are those your designs?
Everything we have now are all ours.
Okay.
100%. I got
So
an
when did
engineer
you
on
start
staff.
getting into the military
That was
AR-15 platform? How about that?
That was shortly after the relationship between my original engineer and I went south.
Okay.
So got a hold of another engineer, brought him on. Awesome guy out of Texas. We've got our own designs for all 8 of our cans. And with the friends that I have met, I go shoot with, I train with. I mean, I've trained with the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
And it's humbling to even know these people, much less to stand on the range and send rounds.
Yep.
It's humbling.
Well, and they're using your product.
Absolutely they are.
So was this engineer a little more proactive as far as like,
yes,
maybe y'all bouncing ideas off of each other and design and stuff?
He eats a little more Adderall.
Okay.
Stays up a little longer than he should. He is a savant when it comes to designs.
Okay. So what separates you from, or what is, like, is Smith & Wesson the biggest competitor? I mean, who's your biggest competitor? What separates like your cans from whomever?
So the big guys on the block are Silencer Co., Dead Air. They're big companies,
right?
Big, massive, 30, 40, $50 million companies. I'm not. I still have the autonomy to build what I want to build and how I want to build it. There's no ladder to run things up to see if it's okay because I am the ladder.
Okay.
But I talk to the guys that have been in the sand, taking rounds. I say, what do y'all want to see? Tell me what you shot and tell me why you didn't like it. So I collected all that information and sat down with an engineer and we came up with what we have.
Okay.
And that's how we have what we have.
That's how you developed it.
Right.
Is there potential government contracts or opportunities out there for you? Are you looking that big? I know in that world, I don't know it that well, but that's the big time.
I got a lot of NDAs signed right now. So
fair enough.
I have a lot of guys that I'm working with that have a lot of guys that work for them that I'm working on supplying their needs.
I was about as vague and detailed at the same time
I tried
as you could get.
Clear as mud.
All right. And I think everybody will appreciate that.
Clear as mud.
That's awesome. Have you looked at, what is the Army's new round? That bigger round, it's not the 7.62, 7.68.
Are you talking about the 277 Fury?
Maybe that's it. No,
so that's an interesting. That's not it.
Anyway, but you were saying that's about it.
That's an interesting round.
Okay.
That's like a 270 on double steroids.
That wasn't it though. I watching silly YouTube gun videos. I thought the Army was transitioning, maybe not yet, from the 5.56 to.
Okay, you're talking about the 6.8.
That's it.
The 6.8.
Yes. Is that out yet? Are they in use on the government side yet, or is it still?
That would be like the government coming and saying, all right, we're not going to use the money we have right now. We're going to change all that money out.
Okay.
That the nation uses. That's a big turn, dude.
Yeah. You're saying it's not going to happen?
In my opinion, no.
Okay.
You can't take the 5.56 round away. It's too tried and true. There's too many of them out there. There's gazillions of rounds.
I have a ton of them. That's why I was like, oh, now I got to buy a bunch of new rounds of stuff.
I could be wrong. Okay. That could change in the future, but I just don't see how that could happen.
I was just listening to something about the even compared to like a 7.62, the 5.56 is still a little, not weak round. It's a good round. But
it's a smaller round.
Yeah.
It can still reach out and touch somebody at 800 yards.
Yeah.
On the right platform. It still kills all the bad guys that we've killed.
Yeah. Touche.
It works.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Yeah. Don't mess it up.
Leave it alone.
So what options do you have for, you said your 8 cans, like what type of platforms is it available for?
We have everything from 22 caliber,
okay.
22 only, which is our gateway 22. Named that specifically because the suppressors are like drugs and somebody needs something to just taste so they can get hooked. That's why we got our 22 can, our gateway 22.
Yeah.
And we go all the way up to,
I like that.
we go all the way up to 300 Norma.
Okay. Nice. All right.
So
what's a future hold for elevated silence?
We have got some new designs and some new technology that we are getting ready to roll out. I got some testing tomorrow that is going to be very interesting and very telling.
Where do you do testing around here?
Depend on how much I have to do, but tomorrow I'll be doing it behind my shop.
Okay. I intentionally left that part out. You just said that. Okay.
No, it's legal. I got the sheriff's department coming over to hang out while I do it.
Okay. All right. I just figured this is where that design started since you brought it up. That's what I was trying to see. If did it start behind the shop?
Well, it started up behind our other shop. Okay. Kind of, sort of.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah. When you were across the street?
When we were across the street.
Okay.
After I built
I just know you like to shoot. I didn't know I can make this sound better. That's sometimes necessity creates great inventions.
Absolutely. That's the mother of all necessity.
Yeah. So, all right, you guys, what else do you have going on other than all these new developments?
That's other than raising kids, teenage kids, 13 and 15.
Yeah. Exciting stuff, right?
That's about 4 full-time jobs because they get 2 each.
Mm-hmm.
Kendall managing me because she's got 3 kids,
mm-hmm.
our 2 and then me.
Yeah. Sympathy for that.
But we're getting ready to take over a bunch of stuff with the suppressor world.
Okay.
We got a lot of, we changed some of the laws this year. We had some verbiage in the big, beautiful bill.
Can we touch on that?
Sure.
You feel like, I know you're knowledgeable about it, but because I don't fully understand it. I know enough that it is easier may not be the right word. It's more economical and your timeline is much different now to get a suppressor. Is that a correct statement?
So we got the timeline fixed January of 24.
Okay.
We got some new guys at the ATF that understood the problem. And when I say we, let me back up. Not me. I'm part of a group, the American Suppressor Association.
Mm-hmm.
Knox Williams and his brother Michael and staff, they're the ones that spearheaded all of this.
That's not the gentleman I met.
You met Knox.
Okay.
Yeah, you met
all
Knox.
We'll come back there to the...
But they contacted ATF because, of course, you can imagine the close relationship and explained what the issue was. And the new guy says, well, that makes perfect sense. So we were able to shave those times from 6 to 8 months down to a week.
You got that done during the Biden administration, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. It was pretty impressive.
Yes.
Not exactly. I wouldn't say we're,
Well, we didn't change any laws. We just changed the way things were processed.
Okay.
And it just made sense. It helped the ATF and it helped people buying silencers.
Can you explain that process? Like,
sure.
You have to have a gun trust for the
You
timeline?
don't have to have a gun trust. There are certain people that maybe don't have a family to pass their guns on to when they pass. So they don't care what happens to their stuff. So they just buy it in their personal name. Me, you, we have gun trust.
Yeah.
We put all of our NFA items. NFA is National Firearms Act. So anything that's a suppressor, machine gun, short-barreled rifle, short-barreled shotgun is part of the NFA. So you create your gun trust that protects that when you die, you can go to your heirs.
Okay.
To your beneficiaries.
But how does that, I thought that there was something that kind of made it a little easier because you have to have the gun trust approved to get the stamp for the suppressor?
They do have to review it and make sure your verbiage is correct. But if you're the beneficiary of Brandon Jr. Gun Trust, if you're the trustee of your gun trust, then you don't own the suppressor. Your trust does, but you're the trustee. Therefore, you have control of it.
Yeah.
And when you pass, it can go to your beneficiaries that you have written in your trust.
Okay. So what made it a little more simplistic, if you will, to be able to get a suppressor?
So there were 2 lines. You had the people that were buying individually and the people that were buying in a trust. If there was an issue with a background check, everybody behind you had to wait on that issue to be fixed.
What?
That's how it was.
That's really what?
That's all it was. So what the ATF did.
That seems like insane. How many people are in line?
Hundreds of thousands.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just make sure I'm thinking correctly here.
You are 100%.
Okay.
So with the ASA and the ATF, they were able to break off another line in each one. So now you got 2 lines of each. Your first line is everybody running through there. If there's an issue with a background check, that guy steps over. So everybody else gets to keep going.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
That's insane.
We didn't have to put a rocket in space to figure that out.
Yeah. You think?
Didn't need Elon to figure it out.
I don't know, I don't have to tell you some of the scenarios I have hear and listen to. It's like, holy shit, that's just so impractical.
Now I make it sound easy.
I'm sure
there were tons of meetings that had to happen, and there was a lot of processes that the ATF had to put in place to make that happen.
So what changed in the big beautiful bill?
So we were able to get verbiage in there where the $200 tax stamp, which is what you had to pay to get your suppressor, goes to $0.
Okay.
So
now it's just an
$1,000 suppressor is $1,000. It's not $1,200 anymore.
Okay.
You still have to go through the same process, same paperwork, but it saves you $200.
Awesome. So tell me about, you invited me to a group, a meeting held here locally, with the Cylinder. Tell me how you got involved with that and why.
So that is a group that Knox set up to help educate people that are writing policy or that have influence over policy to make them understand what guns are and how they work. Because there was a ton of people that just don't understand it, and they're the one that making the laws.
Yeah, and I love the way, when you say educate, it's not, you're not sitting in a classroom. So please tell us what you mean by educate when you're I just envision, and let's call it a dramatic example, some flaming Democrat, and they're like, no, I'm going to take you to the range.
And that's happened.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they would back up and they go, okay, that doesn't do what I thought it did.
Yeah.
It's not going to get up and shoot itself. It's not going to assault anybody that you don't allow it to. It's just a tool. It's nothing more than a hammer, a wrench, in your case, a pen, a file. It's just a tool.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
So you're I kind of jumped with my silly example, but they are taking people that, is it anybody that's involved in politics, or are they targeting is probably not the right word, but are they soliciting certain groups of people that are more involved in maybe Second Amendment or gun decisions to come to the range and have this education?
We invite them out for a weekend.
Okay.
In Nashville. And we talk policy half the time and we shoot the other half the time. We have super secret squirrel SF dudes that come and train them.
Yeah.
And they do things that you normally are not allowed to do on any other range. But given the level of expertise that these guys have, they're allowed to do that. And we teach them. We have suppressor appreciation. We give them 5 rounds to shoot, unsuppressed. And then we put the suppressor on there and they're like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Big difference. It's not a silencer. No. It's a suppressor.
Yeah.
It's still going to be a little loud.
And I like the fact, forgive me, the young lady that spoke that was part of the team. Emma. She described having, not necessarily politicians, but political staff there that some people had never shot a gun.
Right.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
Including her for the first time.
Yeah. Well, okay, good example. But them encouraging people that may be on the other side of the aisle from the beliefs of the NRA and that have never shot a gun, and actually getting them to do it. Getting them out there, to me, would be a win, just to get them in front of them.
It's a big win for some of the folks that don't think like you.
Yeah.
It's a big win. It's like, you want to take me where and do what with me for 3 days? They kind of look at you funny, but they're really good at handpicking those people and educating them.
What I loved about it is you're reaching across, and I know this cliche to some extent in politics, but you are actually, the way it was described or what I heard, the group is reaching out to all parties and truly educating.
Correct.
About something they don't know about. And there's plenty out there, I can give you 10 examples of, I don't understand, this. Well, if I am going to vote on it or I'm going to advocate for it, I feel like you need to have an understanding. It's just like we run our businesses. I can do anything and everything from start to finish in my business. You mentioned that about when you started your 10-lane construction companies. You could do all the stuff that you were asking somebody else to do. I think that's important. I think politics shouldn't be any different. Now, I know it's not, but this group is at least trying to make a difference in that aspect where you're truly educating people about what we are making decisions on and these guns and how they work.
Take Trump, for instance. He grew up in New York. Gun in the city at that.
Yeah.
Where did guns don't fit into his world.
Yeah.
He just didn't understand.
Yeah.
That's where Michael came in.
Yeah.
As the 2A counsel for him for the first of men.
Yeah.
And it opens your eyes. So if you can educate the people that are around the folks making the rules, they'll listen to their staff. Say, hey, I went to this thing and that's not a machine gun. It's just not.
Yeah.
Like each time you pull the trigger, it fires. You don't just hold the trigger down and it just goes. And as many people don't know that. When in our last class, the guy said, well, how do you just hold it down? You can't.
Yeah.
That's a different animal.
Yeah. No, I think that Trump example was a really good one. I'm glad you brought that up because if you grow up in an environment where only the bad guys and cops have guns, well, that's just bad.
Correct.
I mean, you associate, you want the cops to defend you, but it's also New York City, you know, and like not
enough cops.
Yeah. Well, not enough cops. I mean, it's what it is. Probably some bad cops mixed in there, especially in Trump's era of, developer, if you will. I'm sure there was never a kickback for anybody or anything
of course not.
in that city. But, when you even just take the cops out of it, all you associate with guns is criminal because you're not allowed to have one. Well, it's a bad thing. Where we grew up in the South, where we hunt, fish, and use guns for utility and food. And then, is it an offense? Absolutely. That's another bonus as far as I'm concerned.
We're in the free state of Florida. We give you a construction license, we give you a real estate license, and we issue you a gun once you cross the state line.
Yeah, I love it. See, you don't even have to have a license for that.
Not anymore.
So
they can articulate the how that 501 works a lot better than I can. And you and I talked about this at the dinner.
Yeah.
I didn't sell it properly. That's not my gig.
Well, you just throw back to the old loan officer days, man. I thought you sold it well enough. You said, George, you need to be here. You need to hear this. I'm sorry.
And you met some cool people.
Yeah. I mean, when you have a trusted relationship with a friend and say, you need to hear this. Shame on me. I sort of tried to get out of kids, but then that practice got canceled and there I was. And I was glad I went because I think what they're doing is unique. Right. I've never heard of a political 501 like that in that wheelhouse doing demonstrations or education, hands-on may be the right word. I'm sure there's other things out there, but when it comes to guns, it's such a polarized. I mean, look at the two events that just happened.
Yep.
Horrible. But
we're very much hands-on.
The immediate response is, "Oh, it's the gun's fault." No, guns don't kill people. People kill people.
That's fact.
And mental health and ID checks and stuff like that needs to be what I think we're focused on. But when you have people that are voting on that, making those decisions that have no clue what a gun is or what they're talking about, it makes a difference for them to just put their hands on and learn about it.
Absolutely.
And props to those people who are willing to at least come across and say, "All right, cool. I'll go on a free trip to Nashville."
When you got the connections that those four have, and you put that with the education that they get from the trainers, and I just go to make sure everybody leaves with the same number of holes they got there with, and the people that you meet, it just works. It's like two gears, and they just.
Well, and it was also refreshing to me. It was that there were mixed. He's been in it a minute, but the other three are fairly younger energy.
Makes me feel old.
Yeah, well, me too. But that generation right now has got this kind of stigma associated with them, and gun carrying ain't one of them.
Nope.
So I like the fact that those guys were so energetic about, they're passionate about educating people about guns,
and they're good at it.
Yeah, for sure.
They know the policy. The way they describe it, the way they talk about it, it's nothing but passion.
So are you going to get in politics?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
You're just trying to sell a few.
Just want to sell cans, man. I just want to make the world a quieter place.
So, can I get that on a hat?
Absolutely.
Okay. Or a t-shirt or something. I like that.
Got you covered.
Is that a tagline?
The only thing we've come up with is a play off of the MAGA make the NFA go away, which is what we're pushing for next year.
Okay. All right. I kind of like that. Just make the world a quieter place.
Just want to make the world a quieter
one
place.
one suppressor at a time.
One can at a time.
Okay. So will you come back in a year and at least share what you're gonna have going on in the next year? Because I'm excited to hear.
It's going to be interesting. So yeah, I'd love to. You'll have me back. I'm in.
All right. Did we miss anything? Bringing it forward?
Probably, but we'll figure it out.
Well, hold on. One thing you hit on that you said we'll go back to. You don't like being on the water?
I hate the beach.
You
God, I
lived
hate
at the
the
beach your whole life, pretty much.
Gosh almighty.
You don't like going to the beach?
No.
Because I know y'all enjoy boating.
Love that part.
Okay. So we're kind of same wheelhouse.
Yeah. I've been to the beach 4 times in the past 6 years.
I've been a few more than that, but not much.
I had 2, not a funeral, but remember, I can't even talk. Memorial services. Thank you. A graduation, and then Kendall made us do our Christmas family photos at the beach a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, well, hope I get that card. It'll be so cute.
I don't know that we did cards.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I'll just ask for you to send me the picture.
Done.
Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, the Jim doesn't like the beach.
Nope.
I'm dead serious. I would love to have you back here, what you're going on. Thank you for what you're doing. I appreciate the invite to the Cylinder event. It's pretty cool. I'm glad you talked me into going. Jim Hood,
Appreciate
everybody. Thank you for being here, buddy.
Appreciate the invite.
See you, bud.
Talk soon.
Bye.